Hi, thank you for joining me today. My name is Racquel Roberts and I'm a vocalist in Los Angeles, California. I wanted to share with you today some of the things that are in my professional vocal toolkit. I'm going to start the list with the things that I use the most every single day, and I will finish my list with the things that I must have in my kit, but I don't necessarily use them unless it's like dire circumstances. So let's begin at the very beginning. The first and most important thing on my list in my vocal toolkit is this. Bam! A gigantic water bottle. This one carries 40 ounces of water, and my goal is to drink 2.5 of these a day. So basically, if you were to go to google.com and search how many ounces of water for 130-pound woman, you would come up with, Google would spit out an answer at you, and in my case it says that I should have 87 ounces of water. So that would be just a little over 2 of these, but as a vocalist I probably should be drinking about 3 of these, but my goal is 2.5, and that's a lot of water. So I'm pretty much drinking from the moment I wake up, and it just allows for my voice to stay hydrated, which is super duper important for allowing these vocal cords to vibrate seamlessly against one another. Boom. The next thing that's in my vocal toolkit that I use every single day is a sinus rinse. A lot of singers will use a neti pot or something along those lines. I'm quite comfortable with the NeilMed sinus rinse. This is the brand, this is what it looks like. This actually comes inside of a box, and there are 100 packets inside of here. So inside of that bag are these tiny little saline crystals, and you pour this inside of this bottle along with some warm water up to that line, shaky shaky, and then you put this up to your nostril over the sink or in the shower and just squirt like so, and it flushes out your nasal cavity. The packets here, the crystals in there, are pH balanced for your sinus cavity, so it's a very neutral sensation. There's no burning, anything like that. It's actually really, really great. It keeps everything feeling clear inside and allows for your resonating space to not have any junk that's getting in the way of your resonating, which I really appreciate. The other nice thing about NeilMed Sinus Rinse is that on the box that this comes inside of, you can send away for a free bottle every single time. So, you know, every so often you do want to get a fresh bottle. So you can get this bottle for free, and they actually do send it. And then on top of it, when they send you this, you get a $3 coupon for more of this stuff. So it kind of works really well. An ENT recommended that when I was sick many years ago, and once I started, I just didn't stop. I do it every single day. And another interesting thing that I heard was that flushing out your sinuses can also help keep you healthier, because if you were to inhale any viruses or bacteria that are sticking inside of your sinus cavity, you can use this, which will flush that either back out your nose and mouth into your sink or a shower, or it will loosen it up, and then as you drink water, also staying hydrated helps. It will send those stuck viruses and bacteria down into your stomach, where your stomach acid can burn the majority of that away. Good stuff. Also, if you happen to be in a dry climate like the desert, or if you're traveling in airplanes a lot, and which tends to dry out your sinuses and your vocal cords, this is really wonderful because it's moisturizing and the pH will get all recorrected, and it just feels so relieving and refreshing. So highly recommend. That's a lot about noses. Moving on. The next thing in my kit is this awesome liquid vitamin. This one is called Body Balance, and it is by Life Force International. So this is actually made of like aloe vera juice, honey, some sea vegetables. It tastes quite good. That doesn't sound delicious, but it actually tastes quite good. I keep it in the refrigerator, and it helps me to keep my immune system strong. It's not cheap. I initially started taking it when I was searching for something that could help me keep my immune system strong, because as a singer, if you are sick, you can't sing, and that's just terrible. So I discovered this, I started buying it, And then I was like, wow, this is really expensive. I can't keep this up. And I stopped taking it for, I don't know, a couple of years. And I noticed that I started catching more colds and I wasn't feeling as amazing. So I put it in my budget, and now I get this on shipment every 6 weeks or so. And it keeps me healthy, and it also keeps my energy levels nice and high. So I do recommend it. Like I said, it's not cheap, but it has been worth it for me. Moving on down the line, the things that I must have in my vocal toolkit are, let's say, essential oils. All right, so the oils that I choose to keep specifically for singing are Peppermint, and this one's called RC, it's by a company called Young Living. There are other companies. I love Young Living personally. No, I don't sell it, but I use it. It's a really wonderful product. But RC has in it eucalyptus and pine, a couple of different kinds of eucalyptus, some lavender. It's just a really beautiful blend, but it opens up all of your sinuses. I can rub it on my chest if I want to have a really great workout, and it just opens up all of this with a nice fresh feeling. Helps me breathe well. So I like that one a lot. I will also diffuse this one before I sing. I don't use the diffuser while I sing because it makes noise in my studio. I'm not going to have it. But I will rub it on myself or diffuse it before I sing. And Peppermint is just, if you take just a drop on your tongue, or you can put a couple drops in your water, it keeps your mouth feeling really fresh. But if you use just a drop on your tongue and go like, oh my gosh, everything just kind of it's like a little kick of wasabi in your face, which is really wonderful. As a singer, you want this all to feel as open and alive and awake as possible. At least that's my feeling. Next thing in my vocal toolkit that I use quite regularly is Claritin, except I use the generic, which works absolutely the same. The only thing about something that helps to keep your allergies at bay is that it will tend to dry out your mucous membranes. So your sinuses and your vocal cords will get a little bit more dry, but lucky for me, I'm drinking a bazillion gallons of water to compensate, and I'm doing okay. But it does help me to keep a nice clear sound in my nose. And you can find the generic, which is relatively inexpensive, at pretty much any drugstore or Target, Walmart, any of those spots. The next item in my vocal toolkit is something that I have to use maybe 3 times a week or so. I discovered that I have silent acid reflux, which for a singer is terrible, because what that means is that depending on what you eat or drink, that can make extra stomach acid happen, and it bubbles up and up your esophagus and burns your vocal cords. Now, the thing is, I didn't have any symptoms other than I was having problems with my voice. It scared the heck out of me for months. I did not get to the bottom of this until I went to an ENT, and I talked to him about it, and he took a look with a scope up my nose, down at my cords, and he said, I think you have acid reflux. It's silent, so there's no other symptoms. I didn't feel any burning in my chest or stomach. Now I know. And now I'm a lot more sensitive to it, and I can actually kind of sense when my acid reflux is kicking in. So this is called Famotodine. It's for acid reflux. There are a couple of other ones, but Famotodine is the strongest one you can have for acid reflux. Tums just won't do it for me. I want to handle a problem, and this will do it. It's a 12-hour pill and no side effects. This is a 20 milligrams, which I believe is the strongest over-the-counter Famotodine. My next item is something that you would not suspect, but boom, here it is. My trusty fan, and I will tell you why. Because my studio gets hot. My studio gets hot. I do not run the air conditioner because I don't have one yet. And in the winter time, when it's cold in my studio, I actually don't turn the heater on. That has nothing to do with the fan itself. But, okay. Point is, I can't have my window open while I'm recording because the noises that are out there will get into my recording. That's not acceptable. So it does get quite hot in my studio, and I just use this fan when I need to cool myself down in between takes while I'm editing. although this only lends me one hand to edit with, so it's pretty quick. Ha 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 ha. Done. Back to work. Moving right along. The next thing in my vocal toolkit that I will share with you is something that most vocalists use all the time: tea. I like mint tea and also throat coat tea, which has a lot of good stuff in there: some echinacea, licorice root, marshmallow root, and fennel, and orange peel. It tastes really good, and also it's very refreshing. No caffeine. Also, my mint tea, I checked, no caffeine. You know what makes it even better is if you were to add some of this wonderful raw organic honey. Honey is very super soothing. It is good for your immune system. I like the raw stuff because when it is in its raw form, the beneficial attributes are not destroyed. And then to make it even better, this is the good stuff. Now, okay, check this out. I didn't know about this stuff right here. This is apple cider vinegar by Bragg's. You have to find the one that says, with the mother. Wait, let me turn it. There it is. With the mother. Okay, that's really important because that means that it has like probiotic qualities to it. I didn't know that this was like the singer's secret. There's a lot of singer secrets out there, but this one is like, at least within the Broadway community, huge. Like before they go on stage, sometimes they'll just have a little swig and it just gets rid of all the phlegm. Okay, we're singers here, we can talk like this. It gets rid of all the nasty phlegm and yuck that makes it so that when you sing, ah, it comes out clear, not ah, which is gross. And also it's hard to sing through that. So this one is definitely a bonus in my vocal care kit, my vocal toolkit. I put it in my tea. Like I'll make my tea with my organic honey, and then I'll add like an ounce of this on top of that. If I happen to be sick, look up the benefits. Just Google the benefits of apple cider vinegar, and it's like a cure-all as far as most people are concerned. Suddenly there's a child behind me. That's amazing. This one is worth having in your cabinet for sure. Ask any singers. If they don't know, tell a singer. They'll thank you. Next in my vocal toolkit is this really great product, Grether's Pastilles. These have been a lifesaver for a lot of people vocally. Basically, they are glycerin, and they come in a few different flavors. They also do come sugar-free. These are not sugar-free, but I would recommend the sugar-free if you don't like getting cavities, because I had some friends who would pop them all the time and they ended up with some cavities. But there is sugar-free and they are just as delicious. It's a wonderful product. They kind of look like this. They're kind of gummy, but they're like a hard gummy. They last a while. You can tuck it in your cheek. And it's kind of like lotion for your vocal cords. In my experience, whenever I have come in contact with somebody who has laryngitis, I can give them a few of these and they'll suck on one, and a few minutes later their voice starts to come back. It's quite amazing, and it amazes them. I'm not amazed anymore, but I'm always happy about it. Anyhow, they start talking and talking and talking, which is not what they should do. They should stay on vocal rest and just allow this to soothe the throat. These are really good at that, and if you've got laryngitis, it helps so very much. So now I'm starting to get into the products that I don't actually use all the time, but they are in my vocal toolkit because they are necessary when those moments arise where I really need these products. So next up we have by a product called Thayers. Most singers are familiar with them. We have the dry mouth spray, and we also have their slippery elm. Something that I really love about Thayers is that their company has also a wonderful pH balance for your mouth. When I had the opportunity to sing at the NAMM show, which is the National Association of Music Merchants, I had a chance to talk to this family-owned company's, it was the son at the time. He let me know that they developed, I believe it was these, when somebody in their family had cancer and was going through treatment. When you're going through chemo and other treatments, you tend to get dry mouth, and this is perfectly pH balanced to give back the comfort within your mouth. So these are fantastic if you're doing like a long set. They're small enough, It's slippery elm. You can tuck it in your cheek or underneath your tongue, and it's not gonna like give you like a raw feeling like sometimes a mint might. These don't do that. These, you could just tuck it right in and it just gives you some continual kind of like lotion basically. That's both of these. This one is I believe sugar-free mouth spray. I don't use this very often. I don't, but I like having it around in case I somehow come down with a case of dry mouth. It's not very common these days because I think I drink a lot more water than I used to. So I have it, don't use this one very much. Slippery elm, if I'm doing a show, you better believe this is in my pack and it's coming with me.
Already.
Bottle number 2 for the day. I'm getting there, still got a ways to go.
How many bottles do you have to do a day?
He asks how many bottles I drink a day. Pop quiz, how many? You remember? 2.5. Okay, so are you ready? Because we're starting to get into the very serious stuff here. For example, this one is amazing. It is called Sinus Blaster Boom by Vitality Works. Professional strength. This one has saved my butt so many times. I will just let me tell you what's in this spray. Fresh horseradish root. There's some echinacea in there, some an herb that I cannot say because I don't know what it is and it's a little blurry, but elderberry, garlic, cayenne pepper, peppermint oil. Oh my, yes, licorice root, golden seal. So it's got a lot of really amazing things in here, but that first one that's listed there, that horseradish, is pow. So you spray, like, open your mouth, and you don't want to inhale at the same time as you spray or you will have a terrible coughing fit. So you want to close your throat and open your mouth and spray this into the back of your throat. I'd say like 2-3 times, and then just do that, and then whoo, your entire sinus region will like open up like sunshine. Ah! It's amazing. So if you're ever sick or dealing with allergies, this is the one. Like, this one I have kept in my kit for years. I will never not have this in my kit because it just works so very well. So Sinus Blaster by Vitality Works. Bam. I don't use it very often, but when I need it, there it is. In your face, literally.
Meow.
My last couple of items I have here. If I am ever sick and I know that I might be coughing, this is the one that I will go to because I know it works for me. A lot of cough suppressants don't work, but as a vocalist, if you are sick and you start to have a cough, you'd better catch it, nip it in the bud immediately, because when you do cough, your vocal cords are slamming together, which will pretty much guarantee laryngitis. And that is like exactly what a singer does not need. So when I know that I've got a cold that's going to be turning into a cough, I will jump right in with some Mucinex DM. It's like maximum strength, 12-hour. It's huge. It's like a horse pill, but it does control the cough, and it does thin and loosen up that mucus. For me, I'm sure that everybody else's body chemistry is different. So maybe you need to find something that will work well with your body, but I cannot afford to cough. This will stop it for me. Mucinex DM. And such a gross name too. Mucinex. Ugh, so gross. You've seen the commercials. He's a booger. Their mascot is a booger. It's really gross. Okay, maybe I'll throw a picture in here. Anyways, boom. Second to last is this product right here. It's called Jiom Pepakoa. I will simply show you this. And the way that I came across this product was because I was searching online for products that were soothing for the throat. I'm always looking for herbal, natural products that can be good for the voice. And I came across this because there was a girl who played Mulan in China, and she mentioned this product. It's a really thick syrup. I don't know if you can see how slowly it moves. Oh my goodness. But you really don't need much of this. A tiny spoonful of this, scoop, put it, let it gently, slowly melt down your throat. This will help, but it's temporary. So basically, if I've been singing for a really long time, my voice is getting rough, but I know I have to complete 1 or 2 more takes. This will give me 1 or 2 more good takes of a very difficult run or a very high note, and let me allow my body to do it. But this is like a last resort kind of thing where I'm like, man, I really wish I could take a couple of hours of vocal rest right now, but if I can't, I'll go for this. This will allow me, if I focus my mind, I can get that last 1 or 2 takes, boom, done. And this has been my golden savior a few times. The very last thing in my vocal toolkit that I will share with you today is a really simple thing. It comes back to the very first thing. The very first thing, pop quiz, what was it? That's right, it was water. So now what do we have? More water. Except this time, it's a personal steam inhaler. You put a little bit of water into the base here. It's like maybe 2 ounces or so. And then you plug it in and it starts to boil that water. I don't recommend adding anything into it, just the water is plenty. And then you sit there with your face over this steam, like so, for about 10 minutes, and it will humidify the inside of your vocal cavity. I don't use this so much anymore, which is why it's last on my list. Since I'm home, I can simply go take a shower or drink a lot more water, something like that. But if I'm going to a very dry climate, or when I was on the road, that was when this came in handy. If you're on the road a lot, this has definitely got to be traveling with you. I know that you have to pick and choose what's traveling with you because you got to schlep it around, but this is worth keeping in your kit if you are on the road. Airplane flying all the time and being in very dry theaters. Theaters are large, older spaces. They tend to be dusty and dry. This will save you. This would stay in my dressing room, and so before a show, if I was feeling like I wasn't quite getting the sound that I wanted, or I felt a little rough, 10 minutes of steam solves the problem. So this is by Vicks. There we go, boom. This is by Vicks. They make a great one. It fits the face really well. It's super duper easy to use. It's relatively small and absolutely worth the investment. It lasts forever. Grab one of these if you need to hydrate deeply right before a show.
Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you liked our content, make sure to subscribe and like. If you didn't like it, make sure to leave a dislike. And yeah, go subscribe to RamK too because we need your support. Okay, bye.
Thank you so much for hanging out with me today while I shared with you what's in my vocal toolkit. If you know of any other things that work well for singers, please share it in the comments below because I'm always open to learning more. Have a wonderful day. See you next time.